What's good, YouTube? This is the only big green Yugioh, and I'm back again with another deck profile. This deck profile is going to be a 6 Samurai deck profile for Troop Dupe Scoop format, and the specific ban list for this format is going to be the June 2007 ban list. This deck wasn't a very good deck in the format. It was more of like a rogue deck for the format, but it's a very, very fun deck in the format. I would consider it to be like one of the more top fun decks that I've played in the format. It's a cool, not necessarily like crazy combo deck. Your combos are more like 1 or 2 card combos that sets up like OTK plays. The one downside of it though is it's very glass cannony. So if you don't open up like those things, your deck can really lose advantage throughout the game and just can't come back at all. So that is the downside of the deck. You really want to open up strong and hit hard. Starting off to the deck list, 2 Great Shogun Shien. One of the best cards in the deck. You can special summon him from your hand if you have 2 or more 6 Samurai monsters, and then your opponent can only activate 1 spell or trap card per turn, so it kind of locks them down there in a bit. It has 2,500 attack and 2,400 defense, so monarchs are not doing nothing to this guy other than with their effects. 3 Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai. Grandmaster of the 6 Samurai, he kind of has another Shogun type effect where if you control a 6 Samurai monster, you can just special summon him from your hand. He's a bit lenient with it though, where Shogun you have to have 2 6 Sams, him you only have to have 1. The downside of him though is you can only control 1 of him, so you can't have multiple. And then whenever he's destroyed by card effect, you can add to hand a 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard. On to the smaller 6 Samurai guys. The 6 Samurai Yugioh. All of these small 6 Samurai monsters have the same effects where you can only activate their effects if you control another 6 Samurai monster, like a different named one. And then they all have the same effect where if they're destroyed, you can destroy another 6 Samurai instead. But Yugioh's effect is whenever he attacks a defense position monster, he basically auto kills it, and it doesn't flip the monster face up either. 2 Zanji. Zanji is a lot like Yugioh with a battle effect where he destroys, whenever he attacks a monster, he destroys it. The downside of Zanji is if you're hitting a defense position monster, it will flip face up and get whatever flip effects it has. So that does suck about that. 2 Yaichi. Yaichi, he destroys face down spell cards or spell trap cards. And then Kamen or Kamen, still don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. He destroys face-up spell trap cards. The final monsters of the deck, I play 3 Cyber Dragons, and I'm sorry for the mismatch in the rarity because I know some people really hate that. But Cyber Dragon's just another good power card where if you lose the die roll, he's kind of another Grandmaster that you can play where you can just play out there and get a lot of damage on the board fast. Onto the spell cards, Triple Reasoning. Reasoning, your opponent declares a level, and if you mill cards until you hit a monster that can be normal summon. If the level was declared right by the opponent, all cards are sent to the graveyard and you just don't get the summon. If they declare the level wrong, you special summon the monster, and then of course all the cards still go to the grave that was milled before it. 2 Reinforcement of the Army, basically grabbing every card in your deck except the big 6 Sam monsters and Cyber Dragon. The Warrior Returning Alive lets you add back to hand a warrior monster from your grave, so literally everything in your deck except the Cyber Dragons. 2 Smashing Ground. It's basically your removal card of the deck. Other than like Snipe Hunter is typically the best removal card of this format, but because of the deck, you really want to get out there and hit them fast and just kill them as quickly as possible. Snipe Hunter's just not really going to cut it for us. So this is like the best option in my opinion to play. MST and Heavy Storm, just your spell trap removal. Pot of Avarice, Snatch Steal, Premature Burial, letting you shuffle back 5 monsters, draw 2 cards, steal an opponent's monster, and then bring back a monster. Just all like very good power spells in this format. On to your Power 4 trap cards, your Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, Ring of Destruction, Call the Haunted. All cards that can definitely change the pace of the game, especially when you see them at the right time. 3 Sakuratsu armor, destroying an opponent's monster whenever they attack. It's basically a mini mirror force. It's just super good at helping you last through a turn and then getting back to your turn where you can hopefully kill them or OTK them. 2 pulling the rugs. I only play 2 pulling the rug because I play the 1 of TT. But pulling the rug is still like extremely good, especially for monarchs. The opponent tribute summons for a monarch like a Ryza really hurts when they hit in this deck, especially if you don't have an answer to it. And this card kind of just completely craps on Ryza because they'll tribute a monster to summon Ryza, and then you'll just pulling the rug whenever it'll basically just negate Ryza and then destroy it, and it's just really good. This also hits Elemental Hero Stratos as well, so it's good in that case as well. The 1 of Ultimate Offering. This is a card that I considered kind of cutting or playing a different option over it. This card will be hit or miss with me. This card will either go completely bonkers or it'll be a brick and I never even use it. So it's just an card. I've considered playing a double summon over it, just because double summon you can do on turn 1 or even, turn 2 if your opponent goes first, you can double summon. So, I may eventually cut this out for a double summon. I just don't know yet. And this has been the only Big Green Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I'm signing out.